Yes, yes.
I mean, whether it is your effect, whether we are talking about the effect or we are talking about the solution, the same kind of planning and micro planning is needed. Now, why do you think that, we are doing this planning and micro planning? What is the need? I mean, why do we even need to do the planning and the micro planning even before we start working on the essay? What is the need?
Mm, to understand,
See, when we have the planning and the micro planning of every point in place, we basically have already worked on the content of body paragraphs even before
yes.
writing the essay. So when we work on the essay, it becomes much easier for us to, do the body paragraphs. We are not lost. We know what exactly we have to write. We have a reference. We
So,
have a point of
so, so,
reference.
so you mean to say we have to, preparing a rough sketch of, how should the what do you call the essay should look like? Okay,
So not the essay
just
should look like. We are specifically doing the micro planning of each point. Planning of
so
each
no.
point.
My doubt is like where exactly you have to do, like let's suppose you're writing an exam, okay, on a computer based, so
Hmm.
you have to
Scratch papers.
make
Scratch
scratch
papers.
papers, no?
Yeah, you'll be
Okay,
provided with scratch
notepads,
papers, so
okay, okay.
you can kind of do the planning and the micro planning in very short. You're just doing it in bullets and bulletins, right? You're not writing full
uh,
sentences or complete sentences because you would not have so much
okay,
time to do in the first 5 to 7 minutes.
correct, correct,
Okay,
correct.
this is
And
one
that
thing.
is where I was thinking.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Second thing, so this is how the planning of the effect is done. Now for the second effect also, you can do the planning in that way. So say the second effect was, it is causing a lot of damage to the marine environment, right? Causing damage to the plant and animal species, basically. Yeah, you can say plant and, sorry for my handwriting. It's
Sorry,
awfully, sorry for my handwriting. It's awfully bad.
no, ma'am,
It's,
it's not bad.
oh, really?
It's good.
Fine then. So thank you for the appreciation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how and why? So again, you are causing damage to the plant and the animal species. So again, basically, agricultural land, is becoming barren because of all these chemicals, right? They are becoming barren. Then, marine ecosystem is getting adversely affected, right? Because, from all these plastics, there's emission of harmful gases, chemicals, and
Do we need to include all these technical terms like ecosystem, emission of gases and chemicals? This sounds like you are from chemical industry, something like that.
no, 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 no. See, for this particular point, I'm not asking you to get too much into biology, chemistry, or physics, right? These are basic.
No, but it's tough to get such words. Maybe
You have to
you
for this
what is it?
particular for this particular essay. See, when
Mhm.
an essay is emphasizing on a particular topic, you have to be topic specific, right? I mean, you
Mhm.
cannot just give ornamental and very good words in English, and then you're not giving words which are not at all relevant.
Okay, okay,
Right.
okay.
This is an essay which is basically asking you or basically telling you that, see, you have to talk about the serious effects or serious consequences of plastic to the environment or to the ecosystem. So in that
Okay,
case, I mean, these are some of the words like barren, reduction in fertility, ecosystem, gases, these are something, which is very relevant and pertaining to the topic and the points that you've given. So you definitely
Mhm.
have to maintain that because under lexical resource, which is a third marking criteria, you have to give vocab which is less commonly used and vocab which is topic specific. Topic specific
Okay.
vocab. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Anyway, so this is one point. Now, second. So now moving on to the solution. So when it comes to, talking about the solution, so let's do the micro planning of the solution. So now when you have all this micro planning with you, when you work on the essay, it becomes easy rather than getting lost. You know that where you have to start from, you know what exactly to write and to what extent you would go to explain and give an evidence. This is what is
Okay.
needed. Okay, and this is what is, I would say, the first serious step towards writing a good essay that can help you in scoring a 7.5, 7 or more, basically. Okay, so what could be the first solution? The first solution, as you said, creating awareness, right? Creating awareness. So how do you think this can be done? And how do you
So,
think this will help?
yeah. So social media and awareness campaign arranging by NGOs by
Yes.
calling a celebrity
Awareness campaigns,
and
TV
social drives,
programs, yes. Debates and
TV programs,
discussions. Yeah,
social drives.
very good. Debates and discussions. Social drives, yes. Perfect. So all this will basically educate people,
Correct.
right? Who would understand the significance, right? Significance of segregating, no, I mean, who would understand, the, who would understand the, you can say the significance of, not throwing plastic waste, correct?
Correct.
And then if you want, you can give an evidence for this. Or if you want, you can give an evidence for the next solution, because ideally you have given two effects, two consequences. So there have to be two corresponding solutions. Correct?
Correct. Correct.
So if you're giving more than one point, I mean, be it your effects, be it your solution, be it your causes, factors, arguments, give an example for anyone. Because if you keep giving example and evidence for every point that you're writing, then you won't have sufficient time and the word length for the essay would be like huge.
Correct. Correct.
So that is something that definitely has to be taken care of. Okay. So what could be the next solution? Law.
Solution is like I have the government bodies should regularly inspect the
Yes.
company which produces these plastics. Are they following the standard or not? Like
Right.
suppose
So
we have a
maybe,
standard that it should be 0.5 micron, the
yeah,
standard
policy
should
or
be thick.
law,
uh,
right?
Correct.
Policy or law should be in place.
Correct.
And so in solution, what happens is that if you just write the solution, that won't help. You kind of, have to explain that how it is solving the problem or how it is addressing the problem. Otherwise, there's no point in writing the solution, right? If you just write there should
Correct.
be a policy or law, that should be in place. You have to mention how and why this is basically, helping to address the concern. Correct? So how would this help? I mean, as you said that the state enforcement agencies,
Enforcement agents.
should strictly supervise, right?
Correct. I guess I have to work on my vocabulary more than.
You have to work on everything, Faisal. It is not only your vocab, but you basically have to work on every single thing pertaining to IELTS. See, I mean, I'm being very practical, okay? I'm not here to impress you. Right? Fact is fact. Right? When we did our reading, when we started with reading, you had a different idea about your reading skill. And when we started with the reading sessions, then you landed up with a different idea. Correct?
Correct.
This also, when we've just started, you have one
I,
idea. By the time we go midway or by the time we end, probably you land up with some other idea. So that's
yes.
how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Prior to this class, I was in an assumption writing is not a big task. I can just complete it. You'll surprised to know that I've completed this essay within 15 to 20 minutes only. It didn't took much time for me,
And you'll
and
be,
I was very happy. Oh
yeah.
my God, I did a essay writing without any help, and I was in an assumption that I'll get some good points. But after attending to this class, my thoughts are totally different.
What are your thoughts now?
Like each and everything, has to be, evaluate. There has to be a detailed planning and, how, your approach when writing an essay. It's not just like a cakewalk. You have
Yes,
to,
yes,
go in depth, okay, inch by inch, not only inch by inch, I must say.
yes, yes. So the point is that is why people come for training. And that is why, you come for a good training, a good one. Okay,
Correct.
which basically, educates you about all these things. All these things that see how exactly you have to segregate the 40 minutes. How do you have to, work on each point? How do you have to decide on the type of the essay? How do you have to decide that what should be the inclusions and what should be the exclusions in the essay? So all these things needs to be decided upon even before you start working on the essay. Otherwise, you will be lost and end up getting a poor score,
Mhm.
right? And then you end up writing Ielts, I don't know how many times. And there's no point. Waste of resources, money, time, energy, etc. Correct? So that's the idea. So work on all these pointers that we've discussed in today's sessions, and you will definitely see substantial improvement. At least you'll get the confidence. Okay, when you're
Yeah,
learning,
sure.
you have to learn things which are correct, right? And
Correct.
then implement. Okay. So should strictly supervise, penalize or punish, you can say companies, households, right? Which deliberately mix the wet and dry solid plastic waste, right? So
Correct.
accordingly, they should be segregating, right? And incentivize those who are segregating. So that will be a motivation. They'll do it more. And then if you want, you can give an evidence for this. Anyone. Got it? So this is how, your entire planning and micro planning. Now it is looking that, it's a huge thing, but once you start doing that and once you practice this planning and micro planning for all the, next 7 to 8 writing tasks, you will see that it's a cakewalk. It is easy. And you will also see that how this is helping you, how this would actually help you to work on your main essay. As I said, I am of the opinion and I am of the idea that without planning, micro planning, you can never expect a good essay. An essay which can actually score you a 7+. Okay. So instead of initially focusing on writing the main essay, try to focus more on doing the correct planning and micro planning, and then start working on your essay. Am I clear now?
Okay.
So the entire session
Yeah.
that we had today and all these content and everything was something that has to happen in that 5 to 7 minutes of time before
Mhm.
writing the main essay. Am I clear? Before writing the main essay. We have
Correct.
not yet started with writing the main essay. This is all the tap, tyag, tandav that you have to do before writing the main essay. Am I clear?
Yes, yes.